Welcome to the Global Commerce Academy, your destination for 100% free CMA USA lectures. In today's session, we begin a brand new subject in Part 1, Internal Controls. A short but powerful section that helps future CMAs prevent fraud, protect assets, and maintain financial integrity. And as always, we won't just memorize definitions. We'll explore the topic through real-world storytelling. Internal controls. These are the unsung heroes of financial integrity, the safeguards that protect your assets and ensure accuracy in your reporting. They're the policies and procedures designed to prevent errors, fraud, and inefficiencies. Meet Ria, a sharp and dedicated professional. She's an assistant finance manager at a big logistics company, a vital cog in a large and complex machine. Her job? Make sure money goes where it should, ensuring that every transaction is legitimate and accounted for. She's the guardian of the company's financial well-being. One Tuesday, while meticulously reviewing fuel reimbursement claims, a routine task that's easy to overlook, Ria noticed something odd. A subtle discrepancy that caught her attention. The numbers were rising faster than deliveries, an imbalance that didn't quite make sense. It was a red flag waving in the sea of data. She dug deeper and found, peeling back the layers of paperwork, duplicate receipts, a clear sign of potential fraud. She also found claims for idle trucks, vehicles that weren't even on the road, and premium fuel claims for trucks that didn't need it, an unnecessary expense that added up quickly. The scam? The same person approved and processed payments, a critical flaw in the system. There was no oversight, no second pair of eyes to catch the discrepancies. This wasn't just a few stolen dollars, it was more than petty theft. It was a system failure, a breakdown in the fundamental controls. Ria's company had a massive blind spot, a vulnerability that was being exploited. They were bleeding cash without realizing it, slowly but surely losing profits. Their system was built on trust, a foundation that can be easily shaken. It relied on good faith, not checks and balances, a dangerous gamble in the world of finance. Trust is great for friendships, for building strong relationships. But in finance you need more than just trust, you need verification. What they needed was a process, a well-defined and documented procedure to catch fraud automatically, to raise a red flag when something wasn't right. They needed a financial security camera, a watchful eye over their assets. Internal controls are that camera, providing constant surveillance and protection. And Ria was about to become their champion, the advocate for stronger financial safeguards. This is where our story begins, a story of vigilance, determination, and the power of internal controls. It starts with a company in need of real safeguards, a company vulnerable to financial risks. Because when the numbers don't add up, when something feels off, it's time to look at the system, to examine the processes and procedures in place. It's time to look beyond the people and focus on the framework that governs their actions. Ria's discovery was the wake-up call, the moment of realization that things needed to change. Internal controls aren't optional, they're not just a nice-to-have, they're essential, a critical component of any successful and sustainable business. So, what exactly are internal controls? It's a term you'll hear often in the business world, but what does it really mean in practice? Let's break it down. Think of them as the CCTV for your company's money. They're constantly monitoring, always vigilant, ensuring that every transaction and process is accounted for. They're the established rules, the documented policies, and the carefully designed processes that keep things running honestly and smoothly. They ensure accountability at every level and promote a culture of integrity within the organization. Internal controls protect assets, all kinds of assets, cash, inventory, the tangible things, equipment, even data. Protecting your intellectual property and sensitive customer information is just as crucial. They prevent and detect fraud, catching irregularities before they escalate into major problems. Like Ria's fuel scam, preventing even seemingly small acts of dishonesty from becoming commonplace. By making cheating too hard, the more layers of oversight, the less tempting it becomes. They ensure financial reports are accurate, verifying that every number tells the true story. Crucial for investors who rely on these reports to make informed decisions, banks, and regulators. Transparency builds trust and fosters long-term relationships. Weak controls led to scandals like Enron, a stark reminder of what happens when oversight fails. Strong controls keep numbers solid. They provide a foundation of stability and reliability. Controls also boost efficiency, streamlining processes and eliminating unnecessary steps, turning chaos into a well-oiled machine. A smooth operation saves time and money, and they help companies comply with laws, avoiding potential legal pitfalls. Mess up, and you risk fines or worse. Non-compliance can have severe repercussions. In short, internal controls protect your stuff, safeguarding your valuable resources, stop thieves, preventing both internal and external threats, ensure honest reporting, building trust with stakeholders, improve operations, making your business run more effectively, and keep you legal. They're a fundamental part of responsible business management. They're not just suggestions, they're essential. They're the guardrails that keep business on track. Think of them as the GPS for your company's financial health. The key idea? Never let one person have all the power. That's a recipe for potential disaster. Segregation of duties is the foundation. It's a cornerstone of effective internal control. It's about building a system that's too tough to cheat. Make it so difficult that dishonesty becomes impractical. Internal controls are your company's silent protectors, working tirelessly behind the scenes. Without them, you're just hoping for the best. And in business, hope is never a strategy. We know we need controls, but how do you build them? Enter the COSO Framework. COSO is the ultimate guide for internal controls, with 5 key components. First, control environment. This is the company's culture. Does leadership value ethics? Second, risk assessment. Identify where you're vulnerable. Fraud, theft, cyber attacks. Third, control activities. These are the policies and procedures to address risks. Segregation of duties is crucial. Never let one person control a transaction from start to finish. Fourth, information and communication. Make sure everyone knows the rules and reports issues. Fifth, monitoring. Regularly review and improve controls. These 5 tracks work together to create a strong system. It's not about trust, it's about structure. The COSO Framework is your blueprint for honest business. Every company needs these components to stay safe. Without them, you're building on sand. For future CMAs, knowing COSO is non-negotiable. It's the mixtape every business needs. Let's break down the 3 types of controls: preventive, detective, and corrective. Preventive controls are your front line. Stop problems before they start. Examples: segregation of duties, password protection, pre-approvals, locked inventory. Detective controls catch what slips through, like RIA reviewing fuel reports. Examples: bank reconciliations, surprise inventory counts, internal audits. These controls raise red flags when something's off. Corrective controls fix issues after they're found. Examples: disciplining fraudsters, updating software to flag duplicates. It's about learning from mistakes and closing loopholes. A good system uses all 3 types: prevention, detection, correction. No single control is perfect, but together, they're powerful. RIA's company needed all 3 to recover. Controls aren't just about stopping fraud, they're about building resilience. Every business needs this layered defense. That's how you protect the company for the long haul. Internal controls are powerful tools, designed to safeguard assets and ensure the integrity of financial reporting. They act as the first line of defense against errors and fraud. But even the most meticulously crafted systems aren't foolproof. Collusion, where individuals work together to bypass controls, and management override, where those in authority circumvent the system, can break even the best designed systems. These are significant vulnerabilities that can undermine the entire control framework. Sometimes implementing comprehensive controls is simply too costly for small businesses or startups. They may lack the resources to invest in sophisticated systems, making them particularly vulnerable. That's where IT controls come in. Firewalls acting as digital gatekeepers, encryption, scrambling data to protect it from unauthorized access, access logs, meticulously tracking who accesses what and when, and multi-factor authentication, adding an extra layer of security to verify user identities. In today's digital world, where cyber threats are ever present, a weak password is as dangerous as an unlocked vault. It's an open invitation for cyber criminals. CMAs are crucial. They design, implement, and monitor these systems, ensuring they are effective and up-to-date. They are the architects of a company's defense against financial risks. You're not just a number cruncher, you're more than just balancing the books. You're a risk manager, identifying potential threats, and a fraud detector, uncovering irregularities and preventing financial losses. CMAs understand business processes inside and out, spot risks lurking in the shadows, and build effective controls to mitigate those risks. You're the human element, the critical thinker, that keeps the system strong and adaptable to new challenges. Back to Ria. She didn't just find the problem, she fixed it, taking ownership and driving positive change. She recommended a 2-step approval process, adding a layer of oversight to prevent unauthorized transactions regular software updates, patching vulnerabilities and staying ahead of cyber threats, and random audits, providing an independent check on the system's effectiveness. Her mix of preventive, detective, and corrective controls closed the loophole, creating a robust and resilient system. Ria didn't just save money, she strengthened the company's foundation, building a more secure and sustainable future. That's the real power of internal controls, protecting assets, ensuring compliance, and ultimately, building value for the organization. And that's why every business needs a control freak. Someone who is passionate about protecting the company and ensuring its success, like you.